Hey, what's up, guys? Happy New Year. I am back. Vinny Adams here with Hollywood Junket, and we're talking all about The Bachelor. Last year it was a Bachelorette. This year it's a Bachelor, episode 2. So much drama went on in this single episode, and we're going to talk all about it. So let's just get right into it. So first, I want to talk about the first group date. Clayton and the women, they went to a birthday party, and they got to hang out with a bunch of kids. One of the biggest moments was Hilary Duff. She was the celebrity guest. A lot of the women were really excited about that. But the big thing that happened during this date was with Cassidy. A lot of the women noticed that she wasn't really putting her all into this group date. And even Cassidy said that she did not have a problem with, not helping out with the kids or not helping set up the birthday party because she wasn't there for that. She's here for The Bachelor and not to help out with kids. And she specifically said that she wasn't getting paid for this, which the women weren't too happy with. So the interesting thing about this whole scenario was Clayton, he didn't seem to notice, but what boggled my mind is Clayton loves kids, and that's why they did this whole date in the first place. He from last season, we saw how much he has a place in his heart for children. So it was very interesting to see him turn his head towards the fact that Cassidy really didn't give it her all during this date. So I want to know, what do you guys think about that? Do you think it was a little off that Clayton really didn't care as much, or do you think it was just whatever? Let me know. So during the after party, the women confronted Cassidy, and like I said, Cassidy, she stood her ground, and I gotta give it to her. At least she is standing her ground, and she's letting the girls know this is who she is, and she's not being fake about it. I don't know. What do you guys think? I kind of respect that. Even though I disagree with how she handled it, at least she's owning up to it, But a huge shocker, Cassidy gets a rose, which blew my mind because, again, she didn't really participate in this whole date. And so I can understand why the women were upset and why they felt that she was undeserving for the rose. So all right, so we get to the first one-on-one date, and Susie is picked for the date. I really like Susie. She seems like a very sweet girl, but I was surprised that it wasn't Rachel, because one of the things that happened during the date was flying in a helicopter. And Rachel, she's a pilot, so I for sure thought that date would have gone to her. And even Rachel mentioned it. She said she's a pilot. Why isn't she on this date? But you know what? Maybe she'll get another chance with doing something in the sky, whether it's flying an airplane or a helicopter, you never know. But I really like this one-on-one date. I really got to see more of Susie. I really hope Susie goes far. She seems like a genuinely good person. So we'll have to see what happens. So the second group date, they played this game called Never Have I Ever. There was a comedian who was pretty much the host of this game. Her name was Ziwe. Amazing woman. I loved her hosting ability. So they were asked a bunch of questions like, have they ever cheated on someone before? After that, there is this whole obstacle course, this relationship red flag obstacle course. That was very interesting to me, and I want to know your opinion. But the host of The Bachelor, we really didn't see him, and usually in seasons past, with Chris Harrison, there was commentary while the women were participating in these games, but we really didn't see much of him. And for me as a viewer, I definitely want to see more of the guy because he's a brand new host and I like him. He seems like a good guy and I want to see, more of what he all has to offer. So I thought it would have been really cool to see him give his commentary while the women were participating. But I want to know what you guys thought about that. Let me know in the comments below. All right. So the huge thing that happened during this challenge was Shanae pushing Elizabeth. That came out of nowhere, and that really shows how Shanae is just here to play the game by pushing Elizabeth. In the end, Shanae didn't even win. Sarah won the game. Congrats to her. Kudos to her. But now we move to the after party, and this is where all the drama happened. It was crazy. So Shanae went to Clayton and pretty much called Elizabeth out, saying that she thinks Elizabeth is fake, that Elizabeth was really nice to her in the beginning, but then afterwards, she just got a different vibe from her. Now, before I go on any further, I was just so confused about this whole situation because even if it was true, even if Elizabeth was, not being as friendly towards Shanae as she was in the beginning, why should it matter? Elizabeth isn't here for Shanae. Elizabeth is here for Clayton. Now, say Shanae said to Clayton, hey, I've noticed that Elizabeth has been, not been the same around you since the beginning. That's kind of a different scenario, but even then, it's like, it was just really confusing to me. So I want to know, what did you guys think about that whole situation with Shanae pretty much outing Elizabeth? So Clayton, rightfully so, he is a little confused. So he talks to Elizabeth. Elizabeth is very confused about this whole situation and pretty much says there has been no problem. So she goes back and she confronts Shanae, which I also want to say, all the girls, when Clayton pulled Elizabeth to the side, the girls are saying, what happened? What's wrong? Shanae said she had no idea. She played dumb. And so then, which again, I don't understand, because you're going to know, the girls are going to find out what's going to happen. So after Clayton confronts Elizabeth, Elizabeth goes to Shanae and talks to Shanae. And they have like this whole argument where Elizabeth says, you know what, I have ADHD, so maybe that's why it seemed like I wasn't paying attention to you, which in my opinion, I don't think that Elizabeth should have had to explain herself to Shanae, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? So it seemed like the drama was over, but Shanae kept the drama going. So we fast forward a little bit, and Shanae pulls Elizabeth to the side, and they have this whole argument. But before that, Shanae tells the entire group of girls that Elizabeth has ADHD, which in my opinion was a little uncalled for, because that's none of her business. You never know if Elizabeth wanted to keep that to herself. So there's like another little argument. Fast forward, Shanae pulls Elizabeth to the side and they have yet another argument. So it was back and forth. And I honestly think that it didn't need to happen. I think Shanae started this unnecessary drama. And maybe she started it because she sees that Elizabeth is a threat. But the biggest thing that blew my mind was Cassidy. It seems like she's a ride or die, but even Cassidy was saying, hey, this isn't cool. Like, I can't have your back on this. So, it's kind of messed up, or not kind of messed up, but really messed up when, your BFF on the show is even calling you out, saying, hey, that wasn't cool. You shouldn't have done that. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think Shanae went too far by exposing Elizabeth's mental health, what she goes through on a daily basis? Let me know in the comments below. So after the whole argument of going back and forth, I really thought the group date rose was going to go to Elizabeth. And I actually really wanted it to go to Elizabeth. And I was a little upset because it didn't go to Elizabeth because of everything that happened. So in the end, it went to Sarah, rightfully so. Sarah's a cool girl. Definitely want to see more of her. And so then we get to the cocktail party where we think all the drama is done and over with. But then Sierra, she decides to tell Clayton a huge truth bomb. And that is Cassidy has a friends with benefits situation. And so I believe she was saying during quarantine, her FWB was texting her saying all these things to her, saying, hey, let's watch this show when you're done filming. And mind you, he has no idea what she's filming. So I want to know, what do you guys think about this? Is it okay to have an FWB before the show starts? I don't think it is. I think it's a little weird. You're here for, to find true love. So why have an FWB on the side? Clayton finds out. He's very surprised. He's talking to the host, and he asks, has anyone ever taken back a rose? So I want to know, do you guys think, will Clayton take back the rose? Do you think he'll let her keep the rose? I think he's gonna take it back. He should, because that's just weird. Unless she has, a great explanation. I don't know what she can pull to make herself look better after that, but we'll have to see in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, you guys, 2 weeks. So there was no rose ceremony, which I get, it definitely makes me want to watch the show even more, but it kind of would have been cool to see, who goes home. But we get to see more of the girls, and these group of girls are pretty good. They're giving us a lot of the drama, which I like. They're giving us good stories, which I like. So what did you guys think about this whole episode? Let me know in the comments below. Also, next week, we see that the storyline continues, and we see that Cassidy is saying, I already have a rose, so, nothing can happen, which I don't know. I feel like you shouldn't be saying that in front of all the girls, because then the girls are just going to go back to Clayton and say, hey, she seems very confident because she already has a rose and she can say or do whatever she wants. So I think we're going to have a first in Bachelor history with Clayton taking back the rose. But again, what do you guys think? Let me know. But that is it for the recap. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.